Yesterday morning in the dark, actually 6:13 to be precise, I walked out my front door so that I would have enough time to make it downtown behind the Performing Arts Center to take part in the sunrise ceremony that is being offered as a part of the Celebration of Nations. It's a gathering, the Celebration of Nations, a gathering of indigenous art, culture, and tradition in downtown St. Catharines. The sunrise ceremony was led by an Audra Sewell Maloney. I forget what her indigenous name is, but she's a Mi'kmaq teacher. And she was teaching us the Mi'kmaq style of welcoming the new day in a sacred way. She was a fantastic teacher. And we were gathered, well, just a little backstory. I always tend to have my earphones in when I'm walking. And I was listening to another great teacher, Father Thomas Keating, now deceased, and he was talking about unity in contemplative prayer. And so I made my way, I turned off and take the earbuds out of my ears, and Audra takes the clumps of people that are scattered about and gets us all into a big circle around the sacred fire that had been lit at the beginning of the Celebration of Nations. And she told us of how that circle is a sign of unity, of how things should be. And it was great to have a matriarch, a woman teacher. It's part of this year's theme at the Celebration of Nations. For the matriarchs are seen as protectors, guides. They challenge their people. They lift their people up. They support them and they nurture them. And she taught us various things about the 7 directions that we acknowledge at the beginning of the day. 7, north, east, well, starting in the east, then north, west, and south, and then the direction up, and the direction down to the earth, and the direction inside of us. It really was very inspirational. And it helped me to think about certain aspects of our Christian faith in new ways. It just very compatible, I felt. But it gave just enough of a twist to make me think about things differently. And that experience kind of gave me a little twist too for this sermon today, because I can picture Jesus as that teacher, gathered in the midst of a number of people, a variety of people. And people are gathered around in that circle. And when you're in a circle, you can't help but see the other folks that are there. And Jesus recognizes that that circle is not united. He sees the Pharisees and the scribes grumbling because some members in that group don't fit into what they think the circle should be. Tax collectors, public sinners, they don't belong. So Jesus, being that great teacher, says, let me tell you a story. Now come on, folks. If you have a flock of 100 sheep, and you're out in the wilderness, and one of them goes missing, wouldn't you turn your back on those 99 and go find that one? And you have to find it, because a sheep that has wandered off, probably had its nose to the ground the whole time, doesn't have a clue how to get back to where they were. And because they are alone, they are frightened and anxious, and they actually hide. They don't cry out and wander around looking for fear. So which of you wouldn't leave those 99 in the wilderness where all those dangers are to go after that one? Well, of course, everyone is thinking, that's craziness. Risk the flock for the sake of that one? And this is where Jesus uses that twist. God goes to that one. God is all about restoring the unity, restoring the flock, bringing them all together. That is how things are meant to be. All of creation is meant to be a unity. A diversity, yes. The indigenous people have so much to teach us, how creation works together as a whole, and they acknowledge it is the Creator's nature to have made it that way. And so we gave thanks to the Creator in a wonderful prayer. Jesus continues with another story. The story of a woman who lost one of 10 coins, and historians say these coins were not of any particular great value, but she lost one. And she turns the house upside down looking for it, because that coin needed to be with the others. And she calls all the friends. Come celebrate with me. I found that lost coin. Have you ever been invited to someone's house because they had misplaced the remote control and they were excited to find it back? They throw a party, right? No, but God will. For one person to come back, to be a part of how that household works, to be a part with all those other coins and how it all fits into the household budget. In a few minutes, we will turn our focus to the altar for the Eucharist. And every time we gather for Mass, we rehearse how strangely loving our God is. That he would sacrifice his Son in search for everyone that is here, everyone that is outside of these walls. God goes to extraordinary lengths to welcome back the sinner. When a teacher gets us to twist just a little bit, to think outside of what we are used to being heard and said, that opens a little crack that God can seep into us all the more to change our minds and hearts. May it be our prayer that the Lord would crack open our minds and hearts, our wills, our strength, that we might play that part in the great unity that God has set for us. And In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost.